Woo. All right, well, this is the main event, people. This is what this summit is all about. And if you look at the statistics, the people that are going to be presenting tonight, over 95% of them are still going to be around for the next 5 years, and they're going to be funded, and there'll be companies worth many millions. So let's see who they are. We're going to do it the following way. We're going to go by category, and then we're going to tell you the winner in each category. These are the guys that are going to be presenting. We'll tell you who's presenting and what country they're from. They will have 5 minutes to present, actually 3 minutes to present, and then the rest will be Q&A. And we have an amazing jury of some of the most important investors in the country here in front of us right now. Let's give our jury a big hand. All right, in the category of travel and tourism, we have a startup called Jubel. It will be presented by Nicholas Berenguren. He is co-founder and CMDO. This company is from the US of A. It is a platform that matches travelers to customized travel packages based on their preferences and budget. Join me in welcoming Jubel.
All right. Hello, I'm Nico Berenguren, co-founder of Jubel. We make planning personalized trips easy, and our focus is on experiential travel. Today, travelers don't want to go on crowded or cookie-cutter trips. People are increasingly seeking more authentic experiences, such as trying a traditional dish, or getting to know local culture, or exploring a remote beach paradise. However, planning these experiences is very challenging. Take Eric, for example. He wants to plan a meaningful travel experience to a new country, but when he goes on Google to plan it himself, he's overwhelmed with over 40 hours of research and 140 different website visits. And this is because there's choice overload, unreliable information, and it's impossible to know best value. Researching all the different trips out there to compare prices is unrealistic, and it usually leads to overspending. Our solution allows you to discover the world's wonders while saving you money and countless hours of research. Jubel democratizes the luxury of affording an expert travel advisor through a digital platform that empowers you with expert travel knowledge. Using our curated database, our platform easily matches you to your ideal trips based on your preferences, your style, and your budget. The magic all starts with our database of over 1,000 destinations, which is then used by our algorithm to create hundreds of thousands of potential itineraries. We then let you choose your preferences of over 20 different variables, which is the highest level of personalization on the market today. The technology simply does not exist out there, and then match you to your ideal trip, which you can then further customize and book. The result has generated over $1 million in revenue in the last 12 months, with great unit economics and a low and decreasing cost of customer acquisition. Our customers absolutely love our trips, and the best part is that they keep coming back over and over and over again. The market opportunity is massive. Just English speakers looking for an international experiential trip represent a growing global market of $125 billion, of which we can capture $12.5 billion by charging 10% in commissions to our suppliers. Now, we focus at the top of the research to booking funnel. This is where people are still figuring out what they want to do on their trip. It's a very fragmented space consisting of thousands of small players, which means that our ability to acquire customers is much cheaper because we don't focus at the bottom of the travel funnel, which is where all the big name players are burning billions of dollars in advertising to acquire people that already know what they want to do on their trip. So if you want to plan a trip on your own, it's very time consuming. If you then want to hire a luxury travel agent, the price tag is very high. For the majority of people that can afford that, you're then left with prepackaged tours with offer zero personalization. So our solution offers full personalization with no minimum to book and massive time savings. We've partnered with one of the top accelerators in the US, various high-profile angel investors, and we've managed to generate a worldwide buzz while only raising $150,000 in capital so far. And this is because of our amazing team. We represent 9 different nationalities, have attended some of the most prestigious universities in the world. We've already created and sold 2 startups successfully. We have 30 years experience in tech development and 15 years in the travel industry with in-house travel experts. So I'm here today. Our goal is to raise $1 million in seed funding to hopefully launch our product within the next 2 months and reach $100,000 in net revenue per month, 12 months after launching. So if anybody's interested in the travel space or wants to plan a cool trip soon or learn more about it, please approach me and learn how we're replacing the outdated travel agent model. Thank you.
Hello, congratulations on your pitch.
Thank you.
So could you tell us a bit more about competition such as Evaneos? So how do you differentiate from them?
Yeah. Well, I mean, those supplies like the software, like the back end, a lot of in the startup in the travel ecosystem, right? I think the big incumbents really, a lot of them don't really have the bandwidth or the focus to create a unique product like this right now. So I think the defensibility that you manage, how we manage to differentiate, is this artificial intelligence. So the fact that we're creating what we're focusing on is personalization, you know? And we really don't focus at the booking stages, which is where Amadeus is usually present. So the booking is, it's more of a commodity, right? You go price hunting and you try to compare different prices of hotels and flights. We're more of a service, so we're focusing on really creating that brand loyalty, and our differentiation is mostly our artificial intelligence and this unique product that has a proprietary database, so really creating like our ability to personalize really specifically to you, replicating the conversation that we would have as if I was a travel agent. So that's kind of what we're differentiating with Amadeus, I would say. Thanks for your question.
So regarding competition too, again, I happen to be an investor in a couple of guys. One is Klook and the other one is Get Your Guide.
Mm-hmm.
They have extensive supply on experiences. They don't have a itinerary planning or AI behind that. But what makes you think that maybe they don't go into that kind of version 2.0 of experiences travel?
Right. I mean, I can't say that they won't get into it, right? But I think like anything, when you have a special product that already has gained significant traction and it's hard to catch up with, if anything, then maybe we're an interesting acquisition for them. I don't see them as necessarily competition and acquiring our user base, but I mean, it's...
They already have the supply.
Sorry?
They already have the supply.
The supply of hotels and what specifically?
Experiences.
Of experiences, yeah. I mean, they're more of a tour operator, right? They have more of like packages that you would book. So I think when it comes to Get Your Guide experiences, since we're planning it from the very beginning, instead of booking the experiences, instead of booking the package, we're actually letting you, even if you don't know where you want to go, you go and get your guide, you have to know at least that you want to go to Mexico. You can't just put like, this is the kind of person I am, this is my personality, this is already where I've been, so please don't send me there. I think if you started from scratch and you just tell people, hey, what's your budget? What do you like to more or less do with your time? We give you that the same way a travel agent would. So Get Your Guide already has a supply, but also it kind of becomes commoditized, like Airbnb experiences. They're not really competition, I would say. They focus at the bottom.
Okay, sir, we're out of time.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Big hand.
Actually, no, it's different.
Okay, the next category is cutting edge technology, and the startup is called EPICA, presented by Diego Paramo, Executive Vice President. This company is also based in the US. It is the world's first prediction as a service platform. Join me in welcoming EPICA.
Thank you. Excited to be here. Netflix already knows what you're going to watch next. Amazon already knows what you're going to buy next. Now imagine a company that can bring those exact same predicting capacities to any company in the world. Well, that is EPICA. Companies have been relying on historical data to take decisions, not on predictive data. That is why we created EPICA. EPICA is a software as a service platform. What means that actually we are engaging and closing clients without even talking to them. Just to give you a number, we are experiencing 40 downloads daily in terms of installations of our platform. We've been working with e-commerce, consumer packaged good, and retail companies. And we've been delivering a 75% level of accuracy in those predictions. What this means in AI is what we call a network effect. Basically, it's more clients, more data, better predictions, well, more clients. How it works is pretty simple. You send the data to EPICA, we analyze it, process it, organize it, and do predictions. And then we send those predictions back to you so that you can take actions on those predictions. These are the different predictions that we're doing right now. It ranges from inventory management, sales, demand forecasting, you name it. We are working with the biggest companies in the world. Right now, they're using EPICA's predictive engine in order to enhance the way they're taking decisions. But we're not working only with them. We're working also with small and medium businesses and mid-market segments. Why? Because normally AI is associated with high costs. And we want to stop that. EPICA wants to democratize the access to a machine learning core like the one we just built. The opportunity is huge, not only in terms of the AI, but also in the markets that we're serving. These are trillion-dollar markets that are eager to install a technology like ours. How we see EPICA in the future is engaging with thousands of customers, helping them to become faster, more efficient, have a better decision-making process, and actually deliver more value to their customers. But we're not stopping there. We created a marketplace of predictions. What this means is that basically if we are predicting that someone is going to purchase a chocolate, then we can match that prediction with a company that sells flowers, and we can sell that prediction to that specific person. And we are creating a very strong network, a very strong ecosystem. We've partnered with Shopify, that is the biggest company in e-commerce, the biggest platform. They almost have 1 million clients. We partnered with Microsoft, the most valuable company in the planet, and also with Segment, the biggest data company right now. We've been fundraised for more than $3 million, and we have a very small churn rate of only 5%. The first year, we hit a $1.7 million revenue mark, and we've been experiencing triple-digit growth up until $6 million this year. Last but not least, thanks to the South Summit Pacific Alliance, we were able to secure our latest investor, Shark Tank, from a Shark Tank. And thank you, and let's do epic things together. I cannot leave, right? No. You're going to do questions, OK.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Congratulations. Can you tell us a little bit about the team behind EPICA?
Sure, absolutely. There's 4 co-founders. One of them, serial entrepreneur. I am one of the co-founding team. Worked 6 years at Google. The other is a PhD in artificial intelligence. He is our CTO, obviously. And then we got our CFO that has a lot of experience in terms of finance. Those are like the co-founding team. How large is the team? Right now, we have 38 people worldwide. Mm-hmm.
Can you talk us a little about the competitors' landscape? How are you going to differentiate yourself?
Sure, absolutely. So there are some companies that do offer predictive engines. The difference is that they do, you need data science teams in order to work with them. In our case, no. We are more agnostic in that sense, and you do not need a data science team in order to work with us. We put that hassle away. So that is a huge difference in terms of the platform. And another thing is that we are the owners of the technology, so we're aiming for a 75% level of accuracy. That's good.
Okay, quick question.
Artificial intelligence is a very specific purpose. What is your value you add to the companies? You develop the algorithms for a specific purpose, or you have general purpose based on sales? I think you didn't specify very well where you focus in the prediction.
Absolutely. So we built a machine learning core, and we are focusing specifically in those verticals that you saw, e-commerce, CPG. And what we're doing is that we're solving specific problems, right? So it can be inventory management, it can be sales forecasting, but we're solving specific problems in those areas.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
EPICA. Woo! All right. Our next category is marketing and content. This company is called Influencity. It's presented by Daniel Sanchez, CEO and founder. It is from Spain. Influencer marketing automation tool that helps brands and agencies to manage campaigns with influencers, saving 80% of their time. Join me in welcoming Influencity.
Hi, everybody. My name is Daniel Sanchez. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Influencity. When we talk about influencer marketing, I think that it's clear that it's a big opportunity. Huge market, growing really fast from the past 5 years. And I know what you are thinking. That the market is crowded, that there are already different solutions. Okay, if that is true, why most of the brands are still using a spreadsheet like this one in order to manage their campaigns? The reason is that there is no one solution that fits into their needs. So please let me explain you why we are different. We don't use any API in order to get the data from social networks. We don't depend from social networks. Also, basically, we can work with any influencer in the world, even if it's not in our database. That doesn't happen with a marketplace, for instance. And a really important thing, we don't intermediate between the brands and the influencers. Brands has full control of this relationship. And our customer can adapt and customize 100% each single piece of our product in order to adopt and adapt the product to their needs. This is what we call the influencer data-driving technology. And thanks to our technology, we have become the largest influencer search engine in the world with more than 50 million profiles already in our database. So please, let me explain you how it works. A customer just with a click can identify any influencer in the world and choose the best ones. Also, we are going to provide you with deep analysis of the performance of each of them. And you are going to be able to estimate results before launching the campaign and also automatize different tasks that you are probably doing already manually. And at the end, we are going to provide you different deep analysis in real-time analytics in order to know what is happening with your money. We are selling our product as a SaaS subscription and also providing some professional services to some customers in order to adopt our technology to their needs. Some of these customers are Sony, Coca-Cola, or Johnson & Johnson, among others. And also, we are partnering with the best agencies in the world in order to introduce our technology to their clients. Since we start, we have been always focused on sales. Sale, sale, and sale. We build something, test, and improve it. We build something, test, and improve it. We build something, test, and improve it, and now we are ready to scale. We are making 60,000 euros per month of revenue, and our lifetime value is 8 times higher than our customer acquisition cost. And we recover that customer acquisition cost in the first month. We are 20 people working in the company full-time, and this is our management team. As you can see, we have full experience in different fields like businesses, marketing, operations, technology, and product. So there is a big opportunity. There is a problem. We have the solution, and we have the right team. We are looking for the right money, a 2 million euros round that we have already 700K committed. And as you can see, we are going to invest basically 50% of this round in order to acquire new customers, and advertising and sales. So please, happy to answer any question. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your presentation. My question is regarding your competitors. Even with you started your presentation saying that the market is not crowded. What would you say is your main competitive advantage against your direct competitors?
Okay, I will give you an example. Like if you are a brand and you want to scale your business with influencer marketing, you can use maybe a marketplace. Okay, the marketplace has 100,000 influencers in their database because they have to sign up. Okay, we don't need that, and that's really important. So you can work with anyone in the world. And if you want to use a marketplace and work with a celebrity, probably that celebrity is not going to be, or is not going to be in the database, or is not going to sign up in that database. So you have to work outside the marketplace. And in our case, you can automatize absolutely everything with a celebrity, with a micro-influencer, nano-influencer, or whoever. So basically, we are creating a tool that is called influencer marketing automation. And it's completely different than the solutions that are already in the market.
My question is about the new trend where some social networks are taking out the likes, etc. So some people in the market think that the influencers are not going to exist anymore. So I would like to ask you, as this is very trendy right now, what is your opinion about that and your business?
Well, I think that it's normal that the social networks want to take the kind of control in that because there are a lot of money. So, but this, as I said, this really doesn't affect us. Like, we don't use any API or anything from them. So if something happened, like, I don't know, Cambridge Analytica thing and all this stuff, then we can still working with our business. And I'm sure that in the next few years, this market is going to be more professional. That probably is not that mature at this moment.
All right, let's give them a big hand. Influencity.
Thank you.
Okay, moving right along. The next track is EdTech Enlighted. These are the winners of Enlighted today. Praxilabs, presented by Khadija El-Bedwahi. She's the founder and the CEO from the Republic of Egypt. She deals with the problem of STEM students dropping out. Join me in welcoming Praxilabs.
Hi. With all the current challenges we're having in the world, like global warming, the need for clean water, and hunger, it just seems inevitable that we need more scientists to work on solving these problems. And that's why the demand for science jobs is 3 times higher than any other job. However, unfortunately, last year only more than 2.4 million jobs went unfulfilled in the US alone. So imagine the rest of the world. And the major reason for this shortage is dropout rates of STEM students, which is now reaching almost 60%. So why is that? One of the main reasons is that traditional labs, as we have them today, face many challenges. For students, there's the lack of motivation and engagement, as well as restricted accessibility. It's always a fixed amount of time, so no second chances, nor the ability to learn at your own pace. While universities do suffer from the very high costs of lab construction and maintenance, let alone safety hazards and ethical challenges that they need to overcome. I'm Khadija, the founder of Praxilabs, and I'm here to tell you how we are solving these problems. Praxilabs was founded to provide 3D, interactive, engaging simulations for science students to be accessible anytime, anywhere, at an affordable cost, with no concerns to safety or ethical challenges. And it's great to know that studies have shown that using virtual labs, students became actually more proficient and familiar with the lab procedures and surroundings, leading to an increase in their performance by up to 60%, and their retention by 80%, both of which resulted in a decrease in the dropout rates, which is our main problem. But that's not the only benefit, because the increased proficiency of students also resulted in requiring less time in the real lab and using less consumables. 2 factors affecting the spending on a lab, which on average reaches 270,000 euros. So we're also saving money for universities. And in return, we also make money by taking an annual subscription fee, depending on the number of students and the number of experiments. In just 1 year, we got 10 education institutions using our labs, benefiting more than 20,000 students and resulting in over 250,000 in revenues. And we are currently the first mover in the MENA region, leveraging on our competitive advantage as we provide our simulations in both Arabic and English. And the opportunity is huge to reach thousands of universities across the globe, especially that our labs not only help universities in advanced countries to improve their students' learning outcomes and retention, but also those in emerging markets, which might not even have a real lab. And that's where we see our greater impact to provide an equal opportunity for science students everywhere. Our team has years of experience in edtech, marketing, and sales, and I myself have a PhD in human-computer interaction, and that's where I'm getting my passion for Praxilabs. Finally, we are currently raising funds to speed up our expansion and growth and seeking partnerships with well-established universities. So please come talk to me afterwards if you're interested in joining us on our mission of providing the world with more scientists. Thank you.
Hi, thanks a lot for your presentation. A question about product usage. On average, a student, how often do they use your product over the year?
Can you say again, because at the beginning I didn't hear you.
The frequency of usage of the product.
Sorry? The frequency of usage, so in terms of every day or how many? So in terms of usage, we don't have the data from the universities with us now because it's on-premise. So for example, we give the university the labs and they use it with them on the learning management systems. So the university owns the data, but what we know from them is that they practice it all the time at home, so that when they go to the lab, they increase the success rates. So our data is almost the same as the research says, that when they use it, it increases actually their performance. So we only see the performance increasing, but we don't know exactly how much they've been using it, but we see the result itself. Sure.
Thank you for the presentation. I have some doubts about the platform that you use. In the demo, it seems that you use a desktop or PC or laptop, but my question is about, are you implementing this software as well in VR experience and so on?
Yeah, I'll answer you. So our product is built on top of Unity, which is a gaming engine everyone knows. So it allows us to actually to build it is either in a low immersion VR, which is on the computer, but we also can do it in VR itself. But our recommendation is not now for the VR with the goggles because of two things. The first is we want to scale to everyone who cannot even afford a goggle, and we cannot do this as a blocker for us. And the second thing is that there are lots of debates in education yet about the psychology and the effect of the goggles on the students' learning experience. So we are still there. We are waiting for the technology to be mature enough, but our code is ready for that. Thank you.
Time is up. Thank you. Okay, no more questions.
Sorry.
Thank you, Paris. Congratulations for the project. Can you explain us a little about your commercial strategy?
So in terms of the channels or in terms of how many, because I'm not sure I got the question.
Which is your strategy to
Expand.
scale? And,
Sure. So currently we are focused on the MENA region as we started from it, and we have the competitive advantage of the Arabic. But after that, our focus is going to be in Africa because there's huge potential and opportunity there. They already have the need and they have the problem so much more than any other continent. And that's why we see Africa, and then actually after that, India is one of the most countries that is focusing on EdTech as well. And they have the infrastructure ready for that. So Africa's been so much using smart technology, but they don't have the resources for the labs. And that's why we see that these emerging markets will be our top priority, and then going global to the US and Europe as well.
But are you going to do that with business partners?
Yeah. So currently we are actually getting distributors with us. So we have distributors in the MENA region, like in Saudi Arabia, in Qatar, in UAE, and that's the same way we want to go to the other countries as well, because we cannot go everywhere by ourselves, and that's why we are always looking for business partnerships.
Okay, shukran. All right, Praxilabs. The next category is FinTech and InsurTech. This company is called Bdeo. It's presented by Julio Pernilla Aznar, CEO of the company. This company is from Spain. They're going to revolutionize the insurance industry through claims and underwriting automation using visual intelligence. Join me in welcoming Bdeo.
Hi everyone, I'm so thrilled to be here. My name is Julio Pernilla, and I am the co-founder and CEO of Bdeo, where I'm going to show you how we are revolutionizing the insurance industry. Because as all we know, accidents happen, right? So in this type of situation, of course, we have two main problems. Customers that are involved in a really messy situation, but also insurance companies, right? Where moments, like this one, for instance, fraud happen, right? Well, claims are very expensive, and it takes so much time to close them. And this is because normally we don't have any visibility during the whole process. What if I tell you that 70% of all the accidents are actually small claims that can be solved with technology? And in the artificial intelligence age, right now, algorithms are much better than humans on sorting and recognizing images. So that creates a huge market of $20 billion around the world. And that's the reason why we created Bdeo, to provide technology to solve one of the biggest painful situations for the customers. Our value proposition goes from the moment that we have sell the insurance to the claim to the end of the process. And with that, we use Bdeo artificial intelligence. But let me show you a quick video of how this works. Once the accident happens, we connect with the customer in real time through a simple SMS. And we collect all the pictures. With artificial intelligence, we are sure that that information is correct for the company, and we send in real time. And here, the magic comes. When we send to the server, we are able to process all the damage in less than 15 seconds. That's incredible. So we are able to see the different damage, the damaged part of the car, and finally, we can even have the surface of the damage. We can even provide a cost estimation. Think about the impact that this provides to the industry. We were able to give people back 100,000 days. We saved more than 22 million euros to the insurance companies, and we provided a lot of happiness to the customers. What is next? Next is damage recognition in property. We are already here. We are creating the algorithm. We also have the customer base, and we have an incredible amount of information, more than 30 million images of the different customers. Just in 15 seconds, let me show you what our algorithm is able to process. In these 15 seconds, Bdeo is processing all this information. 314 vehicles, 3 damaged cars, 1 loss, 1 giant yellow duck. In 24 months, Bdeo was able to grow to 22 people with 2 offices in Mexico and Madrid, working with 19 insurance companies and growing 600% every year, and finally raising 2 million euros. The reason why we're here is because we won South Summit Mexico last year. We are really lucky, and we also met our actual investors thanks to the event, so we are really grateful to South Summit. We are here this year to meet customer partners, and why not future investors, to keep growing the product and the team in order to provide this impact to the society. Thank you very much.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you tell us a little bit about your go-to-market strategy? Is it through the insurance companies? Is it through the garage? Like, how do you?
Yeah, it's a good question. Thank you. So we have 50% of the go-to-market strategy is outbound sales. We have a sales team that is helping us to reach different insurance companies, and it's working really well in Mexico, Spain, and the rest of LATAM. And also we have inbound marketing, right? So we produce content in order to take the different customers that comes to our website. So more or less this is the go-to-market strategy.
Yes, how and why have you constrained your growth in terms of Spain and Latin America? What's your view regarding other markets?
Yeah, I think the pain in these countries are bigger than in other countries. For instance, in Mexico, when you have an accident, normally you have to wait for an adjuster to go to the place of the accident, right? So you have to wait 45, 50 minutes, and this is a really pain for the customer. So I think in those countries the technology is really useful and it's helping a lot in Spain and Latam. Yeah, that's the reason why we went there. The next step is to go to Europe and to the US, and that's next year.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Let's
you.
give a big hand to Bdeo. All right, Consumer Solutions is the next track. Streamloots is presented by Alberto Martinez Guerrero, the CEO of a Spanish company. Imagine this guy's going to monetize audiences that are watching esports and live streaming. Join me in welcoming Streamloots.
Thank you. Let me introduce you to Emily and Reckless. They are esports players. They play video games professionally. And they are also live streamers. Live streamers are influencers with thousands of fans that watch them playing online every day in real time. And with real time, I mean that you can actually interact with them. You can talk to them, and they can talk to you. At this point, a lot of people ask me, OK, but who watches other people playing video games? Well, a few. Those are the people watching Netflix, HBO, and ESPN all together. And those are the people watching gaming video content in live streaming. But there is a problem. Those influencers have really big audiences, but they are not able to properly monetize them in order to live from its content. Streamloots is a marketplace to monetize esports players and live streamer audiences. Those influencers have thousands of fans that are willing to buy anything from them, but they don't have a product to offer. So we give them a product by turning interactions into a product. And we represent those interactions with digital cards, so they are easy to redeem and purchase by the viewer. An interaction is anything that you can imagine, from playing a game with the influencers, displaying a message on the screen while they are playing, choose the character they are going to play, or really crazy things like make them dress up as a dinosaur or as a superhero. This is how it works. The influencer, the viewer redeems the card appears in the screen, and the influencer performs the action. In order to get those cards, the viewer cannot purchase them directly. Instead, they have to purchase chests, and inside those chests appear 3 random cards for the whole set. We give 20% of every chest. I know this might seem a little bit crazy, but apart from crazy, it is also quite profitable. In these years since we started, viewers have spent more than $1 million purchasing those chests. More than 3.5 million cards have been redeemed in the different 8,000 influencers that we have in Streamloots. This is the team behind this company. We're, of course, 4 gamers with a technical background that have been working together for more than 5 years in different projects. And those are our current investors. We recently closed a seed round with some Spanish and Silicon Valley investors like Draper that allow us to go from the 4 geeks that you see in the picture to this awesome team of 26 people between the office in Valencia and the office in San Francisco. As you can see, content creation is changing a lot. And not only in esports and gaming, in any kind of industry. Our mission is to drive that change Our mission is to allow those streamers to live doing what they love the most, to live from its content. Thank you.
Hello, thank you so much.
Thank you.
How do you acquire content creators?
So 90% of our content creators come to the platform because of other streamers that we already have in the platform. So we just need just a small trigger to bring them. So what we do is like we kind of create network of connection because influencers are connected to each other. So we create like graph of connections, and we identify the nodes with more connection. We attack them, and once we have those big influencers, the word spread out, and they bring the rest of the influencers in the platform. Everything's clear? OK, thank you.
All right. Now it's smart mobility and logistics. This next startup is called iomob. It's presented by Boyd Cohen. He's the CEO here in Spain. It's a Spanish company. What they do is they power a global open mobility as a service marketplace ecosystem. Join me in welcoming iomob.
Thank you. I'm going to tell you a story. A year ago, almost today, the president of Renfe was here on this stage. For those of you not from here, Renfe is the largest Spanish national rail operator, 500 million passenger journeys a year. He was on this stage saying that digital transformation is going to disrupt his business, and by next year, they were going to pursue a strategy to create a digital transformative solution that would allow door-to-door experiences, combining Renfe, high-speed rail, cercanías, taxis, scooters, bikes, and the rest. I'm here to tell you that my company, iomob, is powering that solution for Renfe. On November 15th, we are starting our first trials with real users. It will be one of the first of its kind in the world, a fully seamless, integrated mobility as a service experience for Spanish residents and visitors to anywhere in Spain. What is the solution to? What's the problem? We're living in a time of radical transformation of the mobility ecosystem around the world. Yeah, we have public transit, at least in Europe and some other markets. Yeah, we have taxis, but we have ride-hailing, we have Cabify, Uber, we have scooters. In Madrid, where we are right now, there are 20, count them, 20 companies that have the rights to offer a scooter sharing service in this city. Can you imagine if you wanted to leave this building and go to the center of Madrid and you thought a scooter might help, like to go to the metro, for example? You'd have to open 20 different apps to find if there's a scooter around. That's the problem. What's the solution? It's called mobility as a service. iomob is developing a next-generation mobility as a service platform. We have our own proprietary algorithms that allow us to combine any public and private mobility service so that you, as a customer and user, can actually travel combining anything you might need to get from A to B, whether it's a train or whether it's a scooter to a metro. We have 3 PhD co-founders, 7 startups amongst us, 3 exits, and a very strong team around us. What makes us unique? We're one of the first MaaS companies, mobility as a service, that has built our own algorithms that allow this infinite combination of public and private services in a single journey. We allow users to actually onboard, book, pay, unlock any service connected to iomob. So you don't have to leap out of our app to download other apps and book and pay for them. Cabify, scooters, all of it. And we allow customers of apps built by iomob to roam the world. This is a massive market opportunity, about $1 trillion projected by 2030. We're a very ambitious company, as you might be able to tell, and our aspirations are to power 20% of all these transactions by 2020 across our ecosystem as a B2B and B2G player. We are powering what we call the Internet of Mobility, which will allow any mobility device anywhere in the world to be connected to our backend protocol. Once it's connected to the backend, any app connected to that backend can allow any user to access any mobility device connected to it. We are the future. Thank you.
Well,
oh, yep.
Thank you very much.
I thought I resolved all the questions. It was
everything was
perfect.
clear. No, thank you very much. I have a question. Which is your market penetration in terms of number of different mobility solutions that are in the market and in number of cities where you already implemented your app, your solution?
Yeah, so it's important to mention we're a B2B and B2G company. So what we do is we connect mobility services, and we connect them. We're solving the two-sided market problem by actually going to market, rather than trying to go direct to end users and convince mobility services to connect to us, even though we don't have users. We're going to the market through Renfe, through airlines. We just signed an airline deal yesterday, public transit authorities, and we leverage their demand to convince mobility services like Cabify, scooters, taxis, Arrest, to connect to iomob. And we're focusing right now on pan-European service providers so that once we've integrated them for Renfe, they're also available to us for our project in Sweden, which we've secured, or other projects that we can get throughout the region.
Last quick question.
Quick question, an easy one. Are you now looking for investment? And if so, how much and for what?
Yeah, I didn't mention that. We are raising $1.5 million. We've closed 250 of this round so far. We did a pre-seed round last year. In this round, there's been 2 convertible notes, Techstars, which we participated in, and 1 other convertible note.
All right, let's give a big hand to iomob. Yeah, we have 3 more to go. This next track is Digital Business and Government. The company is called Localyze, and presenting it is Francie Loh, the CTO. Company's from Germany. They're supporting companies and international employees throughout the whole relocation process with an all-in-one software solution. Join me in welcoming Localyze.
Hi, I'm Francie, and together with my 2 co-founders, Lisa and Hannah, we built Localyze. Localyze provides international employee relocation as a service. Every year, 2 million people move to North America and Europe for work. This number is growing by 20%, and it's driven by young talent that is hired to fill our talent gaps, because remote work is not always the solution. But then, you have to relocate them, and current solutions are built for executives. Companies actually pay $20,000 per relocation. Localyze uses software to provide a service for everyone at only $1,000. Our software speeds up the relocation process by 50% through automating everything around immigration, housing, and moving. We like to call that German efficiency. This is what companies pay us for. But we've learned that people need more, so we connect them to all additional services, from banking, insurance, to language classes. This generates 25% additional revenue, only through referral fees, at no extra cost to our customers. Both companies and employees love Localyze. We have 28 B2B customers, 0 churn, and we're generating $24,000 on monthly revenue, and we've been growing on average 45% each month since November last year. And we are not only active in Germany. This summer, we were part of the Y Combinator. We moved out to San Francisco, and we launched operations in the US and Canada. And even more important to mention here, we will also launch in Spain by the end of the year. And there's a lot of potential to capture in these markets. With the 2 million people moving into a target market, and the $1,000 per relocation, plus the $250 from referral fees, we get a $2.5 billion market opportunity, and it's growing by 20%. And we have the right team to become the #1 player in international relocation. A, because nobody knows the pain as extensively as we do. Together we have lived in 12 different countries, y hablamos 8 idiomas. And B, because we combine all relevant experiences, from HR and relocation to software development and business. We are Localyze. We provide international employee relocation as a service. We are growing strongly with $24,000 in monthly revenue, and we are growing with 45% each month. Our market is $2.5 billion, and it's doubling within the next 5 years. There's a big opportunity, and I'm happy to talk to you afterwards. Thank you.
Hi, congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you planning to enter in new markets and to acquire new partners? And how long does it take?
Sorry, again, what was the last
How
part?
long does it take to
Okay.
have a new
Yeah.
market?
So how does it take? We launched US within 2 months, and then as we had the structure, we launched Canada within 2 weeks. So it's getting better each time that we are launching. And how we are doing it is, of course, each country has its own rules. But as we are having software, it's easy to implement those rules within our system. And what we normally do is that we work together with companies and see what are the biggest pain points, and then we try to stimulate that. And of course, we are always looking for partners, like from the banking and insurance industry, and also language classes, like everything that is like important to someone who's coming into a country. We are already actively looking for partners. So if anybody has a service here in Spain, come talk to me. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have time for one more?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Localyze. Okay, this is in the track of healthcare and biotech. Company is called Two Eyes Vision, presented by Álvaro Sánchez Lozano, the business development director. It's a Spanish company. Now, imagine if you wanted to have surgery on your eyes, and you could actually see through something that is going to show you what the real world is going to look like after surgery. They do this with multifocal lenses. Join me in welcoming Two Eyes Vision.
Hello, everyone. My name is Álvaro Sánchez Lozano, and I'm a partner at Two Eyes Vision. We're a spin-off company of the Spanish National Research Council, and we're specialized in the creation and development of ophthalmic technologies, particularly for cataract and presbyopia. Now, presbyopia, for those of you that don't know it, is an age-related ocular condition that makes it hard to see objects located at near distance. And this is a huge market. Presbyopia affects 100% of the population above 45 years old, and there are more than 22 million surgical procedures performed every year to correct these ocular conditions. Now, in a relatively safe surgery like this one, where what happens is that you get the crystalline lens of your eye exchanged and replaced by an intraocular lens, the problem is that patients don't know what they are buying. You have many different IOLs that you can get implanted. Each patient has its own preference, and typical vision correction strategies do not result in complete vision. So for instance, you can get a monofocal lens that will give you perfect vision for far, but you will need reading glasses. Or you can get one of the many multifocal designs or intraocular lenses available in the market that will eliminate the need of glasses, but in exchange of a loss of contrast in the image quality. And not every patient tolerates this. This is very important to know. The same way when you buy a car, you like to test it, it is important to identify which is the best lens for each patient individually. And this is now possible thanks to SimBiz, which is the first technology ever that allows a patient to experience the real world through multifocal corrections before they are implanted, allowing to reduce uncertainty in the results of the surgery, allowing to increase patient satisfaction, and save money through less refunds and complaints. This technology has been invented by Carlos de Ronsoro and Susana Marcos, two of the most recognized scientists worldwide in the field of ophthalmology. They have more than 20 years of experience, and they promoted the creation of Two Eyes Vision in 2015 to license the 4 patents that protect this technology. SimBiz is the best solution available in the market, as it has the lowest costs. It is the only one that provides binocular vision, which is important, taking into account that we look with both eyes, and is the only one that provides a real-world simulation instead of looking at a display. Now, other milestones we have achieved in the last years included having obtained the regulatory permissions. The technology is CE marked, and we can also commercialize it in the United States. We have raised more than 2.5 million euros from public and private funding, most recently the 1st of August with Bullnet Capital. We have international presence. We have exhibited the technology in many ophthalmic forums, and we're also present in 4 sites in Spain and expanding to more hospitals in Europe and the US in the next 2 months. And we have a validated technology with 8 papers published and 1 more this week, so total 9 papers. Now, Finally, we're here looking for potential industry partnerships in the ophthalmic industry and for future investors. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Can you give us more information about the business model? How do you plan to monetize?
Yeah, we plan to we can monetize in many different ways, but we're currently looking to monetize through direct sales to ophthalmologists, and we're planning in doing so with a local distribution of distributors, so managing networks of local distributors. And it's important to mention now, we also have some agreements with the main manufacturers of intraocular lenses in the world to commercialize through them.
Have you got any data on like the effect that it makes in the increase of the number of surgeries if they try these lenses?
We have 4 studies currently running in Spain that plan to measure that. But what we are getting from the feedback we're getting from the studies that we have now is that the accuracy of the simulation is approximately of 85%. So if you see a patient that likes multifocal lenses with this technology, you can implant a multifocal lens.
Last question, quickly.
Yeah, thank you. Can you elaborate a little bit more which is the stage of the product right now and which is your commercial plan to expand the business?
Yeah, thank you for your question. Currently, the technology has been validated, it works, and we are, at this moment right now, we have it in different hospitals, and we're planning on generating more commercial evidence on the usage of the system before we plan it. We have actually frozen commercialization on unit sales to generate this evidence, and at the same time, we're also building our assembly capacity for mass production of the technology. So commercialization will start mid next year, 2020, and we're planning to do so, as I said before, through local distribution.
All right, let's give a big hand to Two Eyes Vision.
Thank you.
And now the last startup. The track is energy and sustainability. Waga Energy is being presented by Mathieu Lefebvre, who's the CEO from a company from France. They are turning landfill gas into biomethane, a renewable substitute for fossil fuels. Join me in welcoming Waga Energy.
Thank you, speaker. So, hi, everybody. So I'm Mathieu, the co-founder and CEO of Waga Energy. Waga Energy is an amazing gas engineering company based in France dedicated to fight climate change by turning landfill gas into biomethane, or renewable natural gas. Probably most of you know that fossil fuels are responsible for global warming. But did you know that waste management is also a major contributor to greenhouse gas emission? We produce billions of tons of waste every year. And most of this waste ends up in landfill, where the organic matters degrades and produce a methane-rich gas, which is called landfill gas. Methane is a powerful greenhouse gas, but methane is also the main component of natural gas. So why don't we use this gas to fuel our cars, to cook, to heat our homes? Because this gas is mixed with a lot of impurities, which is extremely difficult to recover the methane from this mixture. So what happens? This gas is simply released to the atmosphere, making it responsible for over 5% of the greenhouse gas emission, or flared, but which is a waste of energy, which is insane. Billion cubic meters every hours are wasted all over the world on landfills. Waga Energy has developed a breakthrough technology which allows us to transform this pollution into an affordable renewable energy, which is biomethane. So it's a typical example of a circular economy. The energy from the waste we produce will be upgraded, recovered and upgraded to pure biomethane that will be injected into the grid to feed our transport, our industry, our households. This world-class innovation is called WagaBox. WagaBox couple membrane filtration plus cryogenic distillation. It's a result of over 10 years of deep R&D. This development has been supported by the French Energy Agency. So As we consider that the climate crisis is absolutely urgent, we want to deploy this Waga box as fast as possible worldwide. So we propose this solution in a business model called Boom. In fact, we purchase the landfill gas to landfill owners, and we sell the biomethane to gas utilities. And in between, we manage everything. We develop the project, we finance the Waga box, we build, operate, and maintain based on long-term contract, meaning that we have recurring revenues for 10 to 20 years. So with this business model, within only 2 years, we have been able to put in operation 6 Waga boxes that has already saving 20,000 tons of CO2 every year. And 5 more Waga boxes are under construction. We already signed with the main waste management companies like Veolia and Suez. 98% of our business is outside France. $20 billion of gas is wasted every year over the world on landfills. It's a gigantic market. So to succeed, we have a talented team, 36 people now, doubling every year, with an experienced board of advisors. 7.5 million last year, we will double the turnover this year, double next year, fastly growing. And what happened is that we are looking for investors to support us as a business model is really capitalistic in order to fight climate change. Thank you for your attention. No question.
Question here? We lost the mic. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it was lost, sorry. Why are you not consider any emerging market in your growth plan?
We will, but the model is really capital intensive. We try to invest more than $500 million in the next 5 years. And the landfill in developed countries are, I would say, better operated than in developing countries. But the best impact we'll have is once we'll be ready to go in emerging countries, because there it's open dump, so the methane is simply released to the atmosphere. With our model, the idea is that we create an economic value of this pollution. So we incentivize landfill owners to capture this gas to sell it to Waga. This is the first effect of mitigate climate change. The second effect is substituting renewable gas with fossil gas.
Last question.
Have you looked at alternative ways of financing the business, considering that it's capital intensive, removing the hardware and putting it in a separate vehicle and raise money in a different way? Because financing this with equity is insanely expensive.
Financing is really critical for Waga because, as you understood, the business model means that we own the plant, so we have to invest. A small plant is 3 million euros, a big plant is 15 million euros. So what we do is project financing, now as we have 3 years of track records. So we have a couple of vehicles, and we are looking for investors in the project or in the financing holding with obligations or mezzanine to finance the project widely instead of diluting the holding.
Okay, you had a question, right? In the front here, I think?
I have a question, yes.
Quickly.
Thank you very much. Which are your main threats? I mean, do you think that someone can replicate your business or your product or competitors in the market also? Do you think that someone else could do the same? Just asking.
Yeah, so there is 20,000 landfills worldwide. Within 20 years, only 60 landfills are able to upgrade landfill gas now. Within 2 years, we will have more than 10 plants and 20 plants next year. The market is gigantic. And the competition don't have our technology, which is really a breakthrough technology with big differentiating factors. The differentiating factor is that we are able to upgrade the gas whatever the quality is. And we succeed in achieving the grid specification to inject into the grid. Nobody else as us is able to do that today.
Okay, let's give Waga Energy a big hand.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Okay, and now the jury is going to deliberate, and we're going to announce the winners tomorrow in the closing ceremony. So, all I want to do before I let you go is remind you that we have a party going on here as soon as you come out the door. Remember, entrepreneurs work hard and they play hard. We have a lot of foreigners here today, so why don't you offer some of your Spanish hospitality and show them how to party. Good night.